It's locked. Only silence and darkness from inside. Which path should I take? It's missing an eye. The man who did this and put it on display here is a brainless, primitive psychopath. I'm not a thief. Excuse me.
What do you want?
Remember me?
Should I?
From last night? My sister and brother-in-law were with me.
I'm not a visual man. I don't remember faces. They dissolve into fog pretty fast.
So you don't remember my sister Victoria? The two of you talked last night.
Victoria, you say? I remember her glasses and name.
Did you see her today?
No. You've lost her?
She lost herself, and we cannot find her.
Keep looking and seek help from God. Or ask someone who thinks to be one.
And who would be that fool?
Fool. Funny you say that, because that's how I call him too. My cousin Norin.
The chief of police is your cousin?
Dominic Norin, the feared and respected law of the valley of Sveti Kotar.
I've had a chance to talk with him already. He doesn't seem to know where Victoria is.
That means nothing. He's either lying or you're a fool as much as he is. Was there anyone else when he talked to you?
Yes.
He likes that. He likes to be on the stage, in front of a crowd.
If I decide to talk to him, where should I go?
You'll find him in his office at the police station. It's where he eats, sleeps, and fulfills his needs. Talk to him alone. He's more vulnerable without a crowd. Walk into the police station. His office is the door on the left. Just knock and tell him Davor Gorski has sent you.
All right.
He won't care, so you'll have to give him a good reason to let you in. Luckily, that reason is in front of your eyes.
You? I don't understand.
A gift. The cleaver. Right in front of you.
A cleaver will make him change his mind? Is this a joke?
No joke. It'll wait for you here for whenever, if ever, you decide to talk to the fool.
Sveti Kotar is a small town. Where do strangers go when they visit? Any particular place I should know of?
Ah, glad you're asking. I got many recommendations. You should definitely venture into the Carcassa forest. Its trees are magical this time of year. Then don't miss out on the greatest view of the valley. Climb to the top of the Udav mountain and enjoy the breathtaking sight. Lastly, take a diving course at the Lake Hali. I mean, forget about people. Don't ask anyone. Just dive. Just do it yourself and enjoy the rich underwater life. Your soul will be grateful. Grateful beyond imagination if you dip your toes into the spring of the Henna River.
I feel like you're mocking me.
I am.
What was that huge, horrible thing that was set on fire last night?
Tradition. This town has a history of blaming everyone except God.
God is never to be blamed. He has his own ways of...
Blah, blah, blah. I heard it 1,000 times before. People around here blame strangers, good spirits, demons, witches, and even the Vatican. Everyone else except the one they idolize.
The Vatican?
Crazy thing for a Catholic town, isn't it?
But why? And why do you say they should blame God?
Look around you. Talk to people. Stay long enough and you'll understand.
Tell me about the moon ghouls.
They will eat your soul and feast over your flesh.
You know who they are?
A cannibal tribe that follow the moon demons. The moon is the key.
In what way?
I already said too much. Seek more knowledge elsewhere.
Are you a taxidermist?
A what?
Do you prepare dead animals for fun?
I enjoy slaughtering them. I love my job.
So you are a butcher?
I prefer Slaughterman. Why? What's this all about?
I was asking myself about that poor pig and its head displayed like a trophy.
You have a problem with that?
It's missing an eye, and
And?
I believe it's a mortal sin to torture defenseless animals.
You know why? Because you are one of them. Like a sheep who follows words and moral codes, you feel endangered, vulnerable, and mortal.
It's actually the other way. I feel...
You don't feel bad or sorry or sad for that pig. You're terrified because you see your own head on that wall.
It's pointless to argue with this man. I have better things to do.
Nothing to say. Good.
Where could I get a boat?
Are you kidding me?
Why?
Just walk along the shoreline and pick one up. The town is letting people use them for free to encourage fishing.
You can't be serious. The lake is dead.
I love it!
About the boat. What can I do?
The only fool to have one is that old fisherman. Dead fisherman? I haven't seen him for a while.
Excuse me. Am I really going to take it?
Good. Very good, priest. Now go. Walk bravely into the Temple of Law. You're bringing a gift.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a thief. Madam?
Do I look like a madam to you?
Well,
You're going to make me blush, sir. Welcome to my little hut. My name's Ida. Ida Lavnyak.
I already know your name.
How? Do I know you?
Not really, but you know my sister. I was with her last night.
Oh, yes, I remember now. The shy and anxious older brother, Benedict. Or should I say, monk Benedict.
She said that?
No, sir. It's just the way you looked. Why didn't you come closer when we called you?
Her eyes focused somewhere behind me, with a weary and terrified gaze.
It's all right. You don't have to answer. Where's Victoria?
I don't know. I was hoping you could help me. Have you seen her today?
No, I don't think so.
Last night, did she come back after we left the square?
There were a lot of people here long after that, and I was preparing to close, so I really couldn't say. What's going on?
She disappeared.
Oh no, not her, not again. I hope she's not another victim of the moon.
She was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof last night.
I heard about that accident this morning. She did that. She really pushed that man.
Eyewitnesses saw her.
Liars. Who are these people?
Does it really matter?
You believe their story? You really think she did it?
You've heard about the mayor.
Heard what?
They found his body in the forest.
What? Who told you that?
The police forced me to see it. The body was hanged from the belfry of the Church of Mary. Mutilated, disemboweled, and half-eaten by the crows.
Those animals. I'm sorry you had to see that. Poor Mayor. I'll light up a candle for him today.
What can you tell me about Nedman?
Never seen him, but have heard and retold many stories about him. What do you want to know?
It's a small town. How come you've never seen him?
Because he's one of those who lives under the moonlight, while the rest of us do our best to keep away from it.
A moon ghoul?
The worst of them all. I feel lost now. Why are you asking me all these questions? And you didn't answer me. You think your sister pushed that man? You really think she's capable of doing it? I know her very little, but I know those accusations are absurd.
She is capable, and I believe she did it. Listen carefully. Her husband Nikolai and I are now suspects. The police think we are hiding her somewhere, which makes us look like accomplices of Nermin. She did something to keep us stuck in the house. We woke up having no memory of what happened last night. At the same time, she was seen by multiple witnesses pushing a man from the roof. In the vicinity of Merzel's body, they found her coat and other belongings. She was there. She did it. She helped Nermin.
I don't know what to say except that Victoria is a good person. She looks so gentle and vulnerable, like a butterfly. I refuse to believe these things, but I could be wrong. I'm sorry, Benedict. How can I help?
I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe only God can do something. Not even God. She's lost forever. What book are you reading?
The Divine Comedy. I needed something to cheer me up.
So where's Dante now?
Who?
Dante, the hero of the book? In what part of the book are you now?
Oh yes, how silly of me. He's in a dark forest and there are beasts he cannot evade. I think they symbolize something else.
Sins. The beasts represent the self-indulgent, the violent, and the malicious.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, the book intrigued me because the descriptions of where he is in the beginning reminded me of this valley. Does that make sense to you? I told this to my father and he scolded me right away.
You are quite right, madam.
Now all we need is our Virgil to rescue us.
Where should I look for Victoria? She won't come out in the open. It would be too risky.
Well, if I were you, I'd start my search in the forest.
In Carcassa?
Udav Mountain could be a good place to start too, but I've never been there, so I can't give guidance.
Carcassa and Udav are forbidden places, aren't they?
I don't believe what they say about them. The forest is a beautiful place. The tall trees, Pepel, the river spring, and the silence. Listen. Search the forest. Make sure not to get caught while entering, and keep your eyes open once inside. You'll be fine.
Who decided to forbid these places?
Ironically, the same man that was found dead in the heart of the forest. Mayor Ranko Merzel.
You think his death had something to do with the decision?
No, I don't know. The proof of fate is a decree that he put in place soon after taking control of the town. It's a decree that compels people to stay away from the places on the list, and to report suspicious activities and misbehavior.
Such as?
Blasphemous and heretical talk, to name a few. But the decree's main objective is to find and execute those against or unfaithful to God.
She sounds like she doesn't approve of this.
I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
You don't adhere to the law.
Not in this case, at least not entirely. You know. And please don't say this to anyone, or you'll have me tortured and killed, alright?
Go on. I promise.
Carcassa has been like my second home in the last few years. I can't get enough of its silence. I know what you are going to say. It's dangerous, dark, and forbidden. But listen to me. Sometimes it gets dangerous, true. And the mayor's death proves it. But isn't that normal? It's life. It's people.
It's life. Everything here feels rotten and reeks of death.
Don't say that. And don't talk to others this way. If we stop dreaming and lose hope, what do we have left? Look, I don't know if you should go into the forest. I don't want to get you in trouble or killed. I have no idea where you should look, really. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I have something here. It might not tell you where to go, but at least give you some orientation. A map of the town and its surroundings. How does that sound?
Sure, thank you.
Glad I could do something. Just be careful.
How come you weren't dressed as a priest last night?
That question.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, nothing against you. But it's the same annoying question that keeps coming back at me, like a bat flapping in circles, year after year. I see October 28th on the calendar, and I know what's coming to bite me.
So what's the reason?
I tell everyone I can't wear it because I have to work. But the truth is, I don't believe it will make a difference if I did. In general, the ritual doesn't make a difference.
Why does everyone else wear it?
Because the inhabitants believe we are all disciples of Ivan Kotar, and so we have to dress like them on the day. Not just in the evening when the effigy is set on fire, but all the time, from dawn to dusk.
But what is the reasoning behind it? The dress is just a terrifying shadow of what a priest's robe should look like.
There's a belief that wearing it scares off demons, witches, and other evil spirits. I guess the darker it looks, the scarier it is. I don't know.
The effigy turned into ash last night. What does it represent?
A demon slave of the moon god. The effigy ritual marks the end of the day of Ivan Kotar. People gather on the square, they pray and chant as one voice. Which sounds beautiful. It's the best part. No, it's the only part of the day I love.
I thought the exact opposite. It was a disturbing scene, and I felt true, primal fear.
Then the mayor comes out and everyone stops, and when the last words leave his mouth, the effigy is finally set on fire.
Has anyone been hurt over the years? The fire spreads very quickly, a wide and massive whirl as if ignited from the darkest of places.
No, not that I recall. I don't know. Why?
Yes, and because it could come down at any moment. It's so tall, the nearby buildings could be hit.
Nothing to worry about. God is protecting them. Or at least it's what they believe. Oh, and those who are tasked with creating the effigy are given a free pass into the forest. Can you guess why?
No.
You haven't even tried to guess. Because it's made of black wood, plant roots, and undergrowth from Carcassa. Slaves of the moon god supposedly live or dwell as spirits if they are dead, inside the forest, and so, you know. Some of the townsfolk even swear to hear the wailing of demons the whole night after the fire. I don't know.
You knew Yakov Prenger?
Our former priest. I knew who he was, but I never really had a chance to speak to him. Why?
I heard he went missing.
Many people still go missing, vanishing without trace, as if they never existed. I heard this about Yakov too. Sorry I couldn't tell you more, but I really don't know anything else.
Do you know anyone who could lend me a boat?
There's only one man with a boat in this town, and his name is Arsen.
Are you completely sure? The lake is huge. There should be more of them.
It's Arsen or nothing. What do you need a boat for?
I needed to get to Klek.
Beware, Klek is on the list of forbidden places. You think Victoria is there?
Could be.
Then I wish you luck. Try talking to Arsen. I think he'll help you. Swimming or going on foot would be suicide.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Ivan Kotar. Sanctus Patronus. Only dust remains of the thing that was set on fire last night. For some people, this stone is the only hope they have left. Anyone found my legs yet? Beloved wife and mother, Melita Lavnyak, missing since October 1991 at the entrance of Carcassa. Young Kadia, missing his love since June. Haven, last seen on the last day of February 1993. Our beloved priest and friend. White and red squares, a Croatian version of the chessboard. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty confident this is a 15th century map of Europe. Everything in this town revolves around that troubling period of human history. Asom Tavruli at the top, and the other two are Malleus Maleficarum by Heinrich Kramer, and an unnamed manuscript by Herodotus. What a strange taste for books.
Who is it?
I'd like to ask you some questions.
About what?
Different things. Maybe you could help me?
A stranger.
Could you come out of the room?
No, and I don't want to talk to you. Take a look at my inventory. Read some books. Do whatever you want. I don't care about those knockoffs. And take a sample of the town's map from the desk. That way you can't say I didn't help you.
But I...
Stop talking. I want silence.
I don't need it. I already have one. It's me again. You keep the corpses of 2 children in your boat?
My father and mother were small people. Midgets, as some would say.
What are they doing in there?
Laying peacefully in their temporary grave.
A temporary grave?
They were recently exhumed and I had to take care of them.
I don't understand. Who exhumed them?
Henry, the priest of Sveti Kotar, he banished me from the church, and so my parents had to move out from the town's graveyard. Soil outside the church walls is tainted. The boat was the safest place.
They were clergy?
No. I dressed them as such to protect their bodies. The moon ghouls eat flesh, and they don't care if it's warm or cold.
Why the massive cross on top?
To protect them from the moon ghouls. Faith is the only thing that wards them off, but not for long.
Was it torched? The wood is very dark.
I made it from the trees that grow behind my house. I would never torch a cross.
What sin have you committed to have been banished?
Son, we are all original sinners, waiting for redemption.
We are, but you did something to deserve it.
God knows that is not the truth. Listen, talk to Henry. Reason with him. He must unban me.
Why would I do that?
Because you need the boat. If Henry accepts, I could move my parents back into their grave and the boat would be free again.
It's an opportunity to fulfill Father Imre's wish as well. Where can I find his church?
The church of Ivan Kotar. Go back through the square, find the police station, then follow the alley to your right. Just be sure not to stray into Kuga. Wicked, evil people wander the former school district. They have no soul and have lost all faith.
You have no intention of telling me what you did?
I don't know. One day, he just said we are not welcome anymore. You have to ask him.
I'll see what I can do.
He's not an easy man to talk to, but maybe he'll be more reasonable with you, monk.
Excuse me. A mailbox? Not sure. It looks strange. Its ropes bear some resemblance to hangman's nooses. Makes sense for a town like this. Ivan Kotar, born in 1159, died in 1218. It's locked. There's a time and place to talk to him. This is not one of them. It's an embalmed priest, decapitated. His head is laying on a golden plate.
The Vatican declared him a traitor, an ally of the evil forces. Can you imagine that?
Strange. The sculpture of Jesus is not nailed to the cross, as it should be, but rather just tied up. Father Henry?
Henry Eastritor, and you are?
Benedict.
A fellow man of the cloth, certainly.
What gave me away?
Your aura, and of course the tiny crosses on your sleeves. You were saying your name?
Benedict Dochnani.
Ah, victorious brother. We finally meet. What can I do for you, Brother Benedict?
You met my sister?
Did I meet her? Who knows? Do I know of her? Yes, as every person, crow, and rat in this town.
But how do you know we are relatives?
I have infinite power, and am highly respected. When word spreads, it reaches my ears first.
I have a theory of what happened here, but I'd like to know more so that I can solidify it. You know much. Maybe you can help me.
I'm here for you, brother.
What can you tell me about the mayor of Sveti Kotar?
Ranko Merzo, a lurid creature. Far worse than his father ever was. Corrupt, full of sin, and unscrupulous. Gullible as well. He never saw his death coming, even though he knew he was chased by it. I was called to bless his soul before the funeral. Not going to. The very thought of it sickens me.
Who was Ranko's father?
Fran Merzel. He and our former priest, Yakov, founded the Maraf Asylum. I welcomed the decision, but not anymore. Things changed quickly, and the asylum mutated into the same thing it originally tried to uproot.
And what would that be?
Marov became an island of terror and death for the Catholic community, instead of being a shield that protects it. It was founded with the goal to heal the unfaithful ones, and more importantly, to identify, catch, and execute the subordinates. Now it's a place where our brothers and sisters go and never return from. Healthy individuals full of faith just vanish.
Fran had his share of sins, but he founded Marov with sincere intentions to help the town. Little did he know at the time the evil seeds he had planted.
Ranko was chased by death?
Nermin, his brother, the worst of the Merzel family, worst of all men, an incarnation of evil. Although coming from a Catholic family, from the day of his birth it was clear there was something dreadfully wrong with him. I don't know him well, nobody does, but everyone knows about his deeds.
Chief Noren said he is a moon ghoul.
True, he is a Saborin. Some say even the current leader of their cult. He was once incarcerated in the asylum, but managed to escape. No one can find him anymore. I guess there is not enough will. It's not about the will to find Nermin. He's just a tiny shadow in a starless sky. People in this town dread things they cannot see or feel. The unknowable. They fear it because it is everywhere God is not.
You're talking about the moon ghouls now, right?
That is just a name for the weak. Call them by their true name. The Saborans. The Saborans are not unknowable. They are an ancient tribe that glorifies death, diseases, and pain. Cannibals who cultivate morbid rituals as part of their religion. Sekvra.
Sekvra? I've heard that name before, somewhere.
You heard it because there was a book of the same name, the original copy of which was lost in the 15th century.
Yes, it all happened during the Valais witch trials.
Dark times fell upon that place because of the book. It vanished with its author, a witch by the name of Jadwiga Mazrak. You can see the Saborans are not a complete mystery. Things we cannot possibly understand are, my brother, the forces and entities this tribe worships. Only madness and death await those who manage to understand. It is what happened to Ivan Kotar, after all. Let's leave this subject. I cannot possibly recount centuries of their history in the reasonable time I have now. Maybe one day you'll be able to read the pamphlet I've written on them. Maybe.
Tell me about the asylum's warden.
Hatur. As the head of the asylum, I know he is somehow involved in the conspiracy against the Catholics. I'm the only person in this town who openly criticizes him, the chief, and the mayor. In one way or another, they are all acting against God, and possibly fallen under the influence of the Saborans. What interests you about him?
My sister's husband went missing after visiting him at the lodge.
Nikolai. He was kidnapped. But I feel there is more you want to say.
Victoria met with Hatur last night. They talked, and I still can't understand what happened to her.
So I was right. This sheds new light on the warden and the tribe. Not so much on her.
You think my sister joined the tribe?
I do, although I don't know how. Have you seen any changes in her lately?
That is a question for her husband. After our father disappeared, I went into monkhood. Since then, I barely see her.
When things start to look bad, some people think it's God's fault. Instead of showing him more love, they turn away from him. They don't realize it is only then, when they decide to forget him, that they start to wither their own souls. Sometimes they don't just wither, but rot. Rot until it is too late to get off the path that leads to hell.
The warden is meeting with the Saborans. A boy told me.
What boy?
Anton. He saw them meeting more than once.
Our protege. I knew he had been sneaking out, just couldn't prove it.
He saw Hatur taking Nikolai away to a locality called Klek.
I've never visited that hill, but everyone knows what that place is. The boy could be right.
Victoria abandoned God. I can feel it in my heart. She did it. The same happens to our aunt. She abandoned God, turned her faith to strange beliefs, and experienced a dreadful death.
It doesn't matter what you feel and what I believe. You have to find the whole truth. It is your responsibility. Find your sister and the truth that is hiding with her. I would risk going to the stake if I had to choose whether she is guilty or not. This town has many possible sources of evil.
Where should I look for her?
Begin with Klek. You might find her there with your brother-in-law, hopefully still alive.
What other sources of evil?
Everyone, including those who impose the so-called law. Everyone could be evil, even those who claim to be faithful. Keep your eyes open.
How come there's nothing in the Vatican's official archives about Sveti Kotar?
Because of Ivan Kotar. This town has an open dispute with the Vatican because of him. First, they sent emissaries to execute him. Then they denied the authorities to name this town in his honor. We did what was right, named him a patron saint. The Vatican is run by a mass of hypocrites.
It's the Holy See we are talking about here. There's nothing closer to God.
Nothing closer to God? Just because they said so centuries again? How can they ignore what Kotar did here? Maybe they are now aware of their own mistakes from the past, but have done absolutely nothing to mend them.
You cannot question their decisions. It's like questioning the Bible.
Brother, let's agree we don't agree and leave it there. We have other things to worry about right now.
I've never heard of a priest talking about the church in this way. Unacceptable. But this, along with other things I've learned until now, might be enough information for Father Imre. What about your dispute with Arsen?
Where did you meet that fool?
He's my only chance to get across the lake, and
You need his boat to get to Klek. So why didn't he give it to you? He doesn't need it. He's dying due to that vampire of his.
his parents are inside the boat. Did you exhume them?
Of course I didn't. I ordered the gravekeeper to do it. Arsen and his family are not welcome here anymore. The man is not evil, merely a fool who let evil do upon him.
What vampire?
Didn't you talk to him?
I did.
And you didn't notice that hideous dark thing on his neck?
No.
That fool got himself a parasitic giant worm, a leech he named Hem.
That's disgusting. But what is the reason you banned him?
I'm telling you, it's Hem. That thing was born and found deep inside the Carcassa forest. It's evil.
Can't he just get rid of it?
Arsen believes Hem was sent to him from God. Can you believe it? He gave it a name and looks to it as his own child.
So what now? Anywhere else I could get a boat?
He is your only chance. And it seems like you are his only chance as well, if it's not too late.
What do you mean?
If he accepts to kill Hem, I promise I will think about reintegrating him and his family into our church again. But I need proof. I need to see Hem dead.
You will just think about reintegrating him, or you will do it?
I'll do it.
Immediately after I give you a dead Hem.
I promise.
How do you expect him to kill the thing he sees as his own child?
That is the tricky part. I already tried to persuade him. Now it's your turn. If you succeed, you will get what you want.
A man that goes by the name Jakov Prenger. Was he a former priest of this church?
He preceded me. Why?
I heard he went missing.
True. He was the warden of the asylum before Ranko became mayor. Then, one night, he just disappeared.
Any ideas what happened to him?
He was kidnapped by the Saborans and became their prey, the usual for this town. The new warden got him imprisoned because he knew too much? Or maybe that poor blind lady killed him because he couldn't love her the way she loved him. It's a mystery.
Was he a good warden?
Better than Hatur? Yes. Good? No. He was too soft and hesitant. We could have done so much more regarding the war against the Saborans.
Seems to me you're holding a grudge against him. Am I wrong?
We never liked each other. He was sent by the Vatican to take my place here. The Vatican, which for centuries never tried to contact anyone in this town, sends a man to take my seat? I could do nothing but step down. Yes, I hated him as much as I hate the Vatican. And I'm grateful to whoever made him disappear.
Excuse me.
Of course. This door is off limits for you.
I have nothing to do in there. I'm sinless. I can see the school from here. I'm not going in. It's the district Arsen told me to stay away from. The street is a dead end that leads to the cemetery. I'm not comfortable going in a place like that without a good reason. I'm not going into the police station. I would risk being taken in for questioning, and they could be conspiring with Hatur. It's me again. I talked to Henry about the dispute.
And? Is he going to remove the ban?
What is the reason he banned you in the first place?
I don't know.
Could you please step outside so I can see you better?
No. It's safer in here.
May I come in then?
You are not family.
Step outside, please.
We talked before and you didn't ask me that. Why is it so important now?
Henry gave me something for you. I want to see you under the light while giving it to you. Henry is willing to unban you.
Is he? Really?
Yes. I will tell you all about our conversation, but you have to come outside.
I don't see the point, but if it's going to save my family... Now, what do you have to show me?
God, that leech thing on his neck is hideous. That is Hem. I never imagined a leech could get so big. Henry was right. The vampire thing is sucking the life out of this poor, naive man. I have to persuade him to give it to me. Arsen, we have to talk about your child.
You stay away from him. Is this why you wanted me out here? Stay away.
Calm down. I'm not going to do anything to him, I promise.
What do you want then?
Where did you find him?
I didn't find him. He found me. Years ago, I helped a young detective with a case he was working on. He then showed gratitude by giving me a bucket full of leeches. And there he was, my little Hem. I'm so proud of him. He has grown much since that day. God bless that detective.
It was Detective Mostov?
I believe that was his name. Martin. Why?
Just curious. How did you help him?
We went on a tour of the lake. I showed him some places, but he was mostly interested in the island of the asylum.
Did he say why he was interested in the island?
Something about a runaway. I don't know.
Henry told me Hem was born in the Carcassa forest.
That doesn't mean he is evil. Henry thinks anything that grows or lives in that forest must be tainted.
And so out of all the leeches you had, you picked the exact one that became Hem.
He picked me. He crawled his way out of the bucket, moved onto my left hand, and then all the way up to my neck. His favorite spot, where he sleeps and eats.
How's your health?
Are you a doctor now?
I've noticed you have trouble breathing, and your skin has no color. Have you had this problem for a long time?
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel fine.
Didn't you say before you are too weak to board the boat?
The love of my child gives me strength and positivity, but I would feel better if I was allowed to attend masses again. And if my house would be blessed as it was before the ban.
I have an idea how we can solve your dispute with Henry.
I'm listening.
You have to give me Hem.
What? Forget it! Stay away!
Remember, I'm in the service of God. You have my word, I won't hurt your child.
He will die without my blood!
No, he won't, and you know that. How long do you think he can live without you? And be honest with me, it's your family at stake here.
Maybe just for one night.
This is the only way to get you absolved, but I need guidance from you.
What guidance?
And you have to keep our little secret to yourself.
I don't like this.
The plan is to find a leech similar to your Hem. For that to work, I'd need your guidance. Where can I find one?
Why do you need Hem then?
So I can compare him to his potential clone. Henry seems like a clever man, and surely he remembers Hem's appearance very well.
My dear child in the hands of a stranger. I can't do this.
As soon as I find his double, I will return Hem safely to you.
And then what?
I will bring the double to Henry, claiming it's Hem. All you will have to do from then on is hide Hem when you are near Henry.
You intend to lie to a man of God?
It's for a greater good. God will understand. Do you want to live?
If I die, Hem dies. I cannot let that happen. Your proposal seems like the only way out of this situation. My dear child, please forgive me. Do not fret. We'll meet again soon. Go now, in the hands of this monk. Farewell. I'll wait for you here. The house is lonely without you.
Don't be sad. You did what had to be done.
God bless him.
Where can I find his double?
I've never been inside the forest, but Ida told me once she found a place full of leeches. I believe it's where the detective found Hem. You must go through the wall of crosses and turn left at the crossroads. His brothers and sisters should be there, where Holly meets Hannah.
Hannah is the river?
It is. Keep him safe and get him back as soon as possible.
I will.
Let me say it again. Beware of the forest. It's easy to get lost in that malignant place.
What should I do now? Should I kill Hem? Or find his double and kill it instead? Whatever I decide, God will understand. Dark times require immoral acts. Excuse me.